Sailor Moon was an anime that I didn't expect to grow up with. I have my brother to thank for getting me into the series. He got into it before it came to America. He was one of the few people who saw it on the early version of the internet. And when the show aired in the US, one of his friends gave him some of the plushies. He then told me about the series, and of course, I decided to see it on the Toonami block. A lot of us grew up with the Deke dub, which made a lot of changes back in the day. Thank goodness for Viz Media, since they redubbed it years later and released it uncut. That's the version that I'll be discussing. So what's the story? A middle schooler named Usagi Tsukino happens to come across a talking cat named Luna. She tells her that she is the reincarnation of Princess Serenity and gives her a brooch that turns her into Sailor Moon. Thus begins her battle with the forces of the Dark Kingdom run by Queen Beryl. While on her journey, she meets up with the rest of the Sailor Guardians, and they battle the Queen's henchmen while protecting their hometown. So, what was it about Sailor Moon that made a good impact when it came to the US? Well, it did introduce us to the magical girl genre of anime, and it has definitely changed over the years. I mean, my gosh. I think what drove a lot of the audience to it was the relatable characters, the drama, and the story. While the characters are not really three-dimensional, they do have separate personalities. Usagi being carefree, whiny, and kind of a klutz. Ami is shy but intelligent. Hino is desperate for a boyfriend and is hot-tempered. Kino is a tomboy who dreams of getting married and owning a flower shop. Ayano is a dreamer who wants to become a pop star, and so on. While not the deepest characters, I do like their journey in being the Sailor Guardians and learning how to work together. The drama is also really good, as some of the characters go through some personal problems on top of being the Guardians. One of my favorite episodes is where Usagi's friend Naru starts falling in love with one of the villains, Nephrite, who eventually has to be put down. This was actually a really well written and heartbreaking episode. Usagi had to choose her friend's feelings or save the world. At first, I thought it would be really corny, but they made it work. The premise of the show itself has been done before, but they do put a unique spin on the idea. Though, I can't help but think it inspired another series. Look, I know that Lauren Foss has never fully acknowledged any inspiration from Sailor Moon. Heck, she admits that she personally doesn't dislike the series, but isn't a fan of the guys saving the Guardians too often. But let's really think about this for a moment. A main character whose name is related to something from space has a small sidekick who gives them advice, teams up with a group of friends with different personalities, and defeats an evil queen from taking over the world and finishing her off with a giant laser blast. Confess! I knew there was a reason why I liked that show, but I'm getting off track. So, does Sailor Moon hold up today? Honestly, yeah, at least in my opinion. If I have any criticisms, I do wish that the characters were more developed in the first season than just having simple personalities. I do hear that they do become better, and even Usagi gets braver and less selfish than she was before. While there is a superior reboot, I do think the original is still good. It's funny, it's magical, it's charming. What can I say, but she is definitely the one name, Sailor Moon.